I'll leave it there. Thank you. The leader of Iran's Revolutionary Guard is reportedly promising to fight back if the United States attacks. Yesterday, the Bush administration sanctioned the Guard and its Quds Force, which has been declared a terrorist organization by the U.S. Congress. Does all this tough talk mean the U.S. is on the road to war with Iran? Dan Abrams says to find the answer, just look back at Iraq.
The administration accused the Revolutionary Guard of proliferating weapons of mass destruction. Sound familiar? Well, it should, in particular when you listen to the words they used, and then compare it to what they're saying now.
Facing clear evidence of peril, we cannot wait for the final proof, the smoking gun that could come in the form of a mushroom cloud.
I've told people that if you're interested in avoiding World War III, it seems like you ought to be interested in preventing them from having the knowledge necessary to make a nuclear weapon. I take the threat of Iran with a nuclear weapon very seriously.
The Iraqi regime has, in fact, been very busy enhancing its capabilities in the field of chemical and biological agents. And they continue to pursue the nuclear program they began so many years ago. And now, of course, we have the inescapable reality of Iran's nuclear program.
Well, the issue of Iran is taking center stage in the 2008 presidential race. So where do the Democrats and Republicans line up on Iran? Let's ask the Washington Post's Ann Kornblut. Ann, nice to talk to you today.
Nice to see you.
Okay, so do these candidates seriously have their plans drawn up for war against Iran, should that be necessary?
I don't think they're quite to that stage. They're all certainly watching the administration, wondering what's going to happen. A lot of concern, I think, on both sides that there could be some kind of war before the election even takes place that will dramatically impact what's going on here domestically when it comes to politics. But at this point, no one has talked about their plans. They are, however, drawing their lines of distinction in how they would approach it and the advice they would give the administration. On the Republican side, we've seen Mitt Romney say that, of course, a military option is on the table in the last few days. On the Democratic side, there have been a lot of hard words between Senator Barack Obama and Senator Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, in fact, Obama has been hammering Clinton over her vote to declare Iran's Revolutionary Guard a terrorist group. And today, the Clinton camp is responding. They say if Senator Obama really believed the Iran measure gave the president a blank check for war, shouldn't he have been in the Senate on the day of the vote speaking out and fighting against it? Instead, he did nothing, remained totally silent, and skipped the vote.
Well, and his campaign, of course, in return has said that he was campaigning. He did speak out against it at the time, and in fact, because 75 senators voted for it, his vote would not have defeated it. They've also gone around and around whether Obama sponsored a similar measure to this last. He, of course, has cast her vote as something similar to the war in Iraq, the original Iraq war vote, which he said was obviously giving the president license to go to war, and he's now saying this is effectively doing the same thing. A lot of the other Democratic candidates are being equally hard on Senator Clinton, so it's become a very live campaign issue.
A lot of on the Republican side, a lot of the candidates say that they're going to keep an open mind. They're not going to take anything off the table when it comes to Iran. But Rudy Giuliani's rhetoric has been compared to Dick Cheney's. Is he being particularly hawkish?
I think at this point we're seeing a little bit of an attempt for them to each out-hawk each other. Certainly Giuliani has made national security in general his forte, coming from New York and particularly being, as he has tried to be the mayor of 9/11, terrorist funding, the Middle East are areas where he's going to just naturally be particularly tough. But I think you're right. He is trying now to remain, to put himself on that sort of outer edge of the national security issue when it comes to Iran.
And it's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Well, here's a 12-year-old who is going to be in a big trouble with his parents, perhaps grounded for a long time. He was busted taking his mom's car for a joyride, and to make matters worse, he took his little brother along for the ride. It happened in Tennessee. It was all captured on police dashboard camera, and the boy driver was not taking it easy. In fact, cops say he was driving nearly 70 miles an hour. I mean, he was 12. 70 miles an hour before they caught him and they took him into custody.
For Hillary and Bill, does power conquer all? Chris puts the tainted marriage on the couch on Hardball with Chris Matthews. MSNBC tonight at 7.
Now, see, when people think of Geico,